Man. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So this is interesting. We knew an iPhone was coming. We knew what it looked like. We knew everything about it ultimately, but we still just can't believe. I'm still in disbelief that this is the route that Apple is going as far as giving another version of the iPhone SE. I definitely could have given them lots of pointers on the right iPhone SE to, or the second generation of the iPhone SE to release. But you know, if it's Apple's world, if this is what they choose to do, this is what they choose to do. So I don't feel the need to go upstairs and get the iPhone 8. I'm not gonna clown like that. We all know that it looks exactly like the iPhone 8, but it comes in black, white, and red. And I have a black iPhone 8 up there. So Apple. We always talk about Apple being the best at marketing, and their marketing pays off. This is another classic example of what I spoke about with them previously. You know, the small updates in hardware. They don't compete in hardware. Their thing is, we're going to give you the most powerful phone, and we're going to answer your needs or try to meet your needs, but we're going to do it the way we want to do it. And ultimately, what that equates to is we're going to go ahead and discontinue the iPhone 8. We're just not going to. We're going to stop selling the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. We gave you a chance to buy it. The internals on that, you don't want to buy that anymore. You want to buy our new version of the iPhone SE. I think I would have just been happy with them saying this was another version of the iPhone 8 because ultimately we can see it's the body of the iPhone 8. It's no secret. But they took all the internals. Now, if you're a tech head, you should feel some type of way. And obviously, I have the iPhones, Pros and 11s. So, this is a part of the game. This phone starts at $399, and it goes up to I think $550 for the 256 gig. So the pricing is right for what you're getting inside. But when you think about the way you feel kind of played because they didn't give you a new design, I guess this is why they remain to be. They still are like $1 trillion company because on a business aspect from it, I guess I would reuse old parts too if I didn't sell a whole bunch of them and just paint it a different color, pull out all the fastest parts from my current device and put it in there, and we'll meet their needs like that. We're not going to give them the option to say what they want. We're going to tell them what they want, and they're going to buy this. So ultimately, Apple did that. They do this every year, and we buy it. But the difference this time is that, the iPhone SE, the second generation, the SE2, I guess I'll say, the 2020 version, you are kind of winning if you're into just processing power and all these kind of things. You now have wireless charging. You have 4K recording. I think it's going to cap at 30 though. You have 1080p on the front, looks like. And then you do have fast charging, but they don't give you a fast charger in the box. There's a few other things I can't remember off the top of my head, but it obviously does have the A13 chip. But to a consumer, do you really care? And I'm curious to see how these. Now, I think the internet is going to probably say these are going to sell like hotcakes. This is what the internet might say. But I don't know, because some people might say, well, why wouldn't you just get the iPhone 8? Well, the clear answer to that is you can get a couple of different colors. You get 3 different colors actually, and then you get the more powerful internals. So if they were obviously side by side, I wouldn't take the iPhone 8. I mean, I would obviously get the iPhone SE 2 because I've got all the extra features there, And one other thing that I don't know if anybody talked about, this phone has Wi-Fi 6. That's a huge deal. I have Wi-Fi 6. So that's a huge deal. That's something that people may be focusing on 5G and all that, but I think a lot of people stay on Wi-Fi most of the time, and we don't have enough Wi-Fi 6 devices. So with this phone being Wi-Fi 6, that's a huge plus. A huge plus, especially for somebody who has a data plan that's only like 2 gigs a month or 1 gig a month. That's going to be a huge win for them. While I don't agree with Apple's tactics on how they reuse old hardware and call it the new this or that, they ripped all the guts out of the iPhone 11 Pro. Even on their website, they've got little, they're picking at themselves. So, you know, the iPhone 11 Pro called, they want something back, something on the website. You can go to apple.com, you'll see. They're kind of mocking you in plain sight, you know, saying, ha ha, you bought our fastest chip for $1,400 and now we're giving it away for $400. I mean, if I had to choose, now you do lose Face ID, but I think Touch ID is actually a better deal. I like Touch ID better than an in-screen fingerprint reader. But it's kind of amazing how, you know, they can pull this off right in front of us in plain sight, and people will buy it. I think. Are you gonna buy the iPhone SE 2 second generation? Are you gonna buy the new iPhone? Have you considered it? I mean, I obviously would probably cover it because I want to see what it's, you know, there's really nothing to compare next to the iPhone 8 that I have. It looks the same. I don't think I'm going to get that much more performance out of, this is going to be a tough sale, Apple. Because how are you going to convince people, really, I think people who bought the iPhone 11s and all those, are they willing to give up Face ID for Touch ID and get a smaller screen? You know, consumers shop by price. I don't think they so much shop by the internal specs of a device. And Apple knows what they're doing with this. So they get you to focusing on a phone that's $700 and telling you that this is our lowest cost iPhone. Let's circle back around in 6 months, and then we're going to tell you, no, this is our lowest cost iPhone, and you can get it at the same internals and power of that one, but we also gave you your fingerprint reader back. You know, some people, there's a high demand for the fingerprint reader. Believe it or not, there is a high demand. People, even I would prefer the fingerprint reader sometimes over the Face ID, or I would like both. So there's a demand for it, and I just think that it's, you know, two of the children, I can't tell them, two of the grown-ups that we support, they both have the fingerprint. They have iPhone 8s, an 8 and 8 Plus. So no, 3 I think, but. You know, to call this the iPhone SE 2 second generation, you know, to me, this is just a clear indication that they probably didn't sell as many iPhone 8s as they wanted to, or they sold so much they made extra inventory, and those bodies they just had to flip it. You know, to paint these shells a different color, you know. So I don't know what the deal is, but I do know that I'm actually curious to see how many people are actually going to move from the iPhone 8 to the iPhone SE second generation to get a different color and to get the more processing power. You know, I don't know, you know, wireless charging, you know, water resistance, all these things. I don't personally care about wireless charging. The fast charging is cool, but you didn't give me a fast charger in the box. I think the most exciting part of this phone is the white color, and then the Wi-Fi 6, you know, and having the Touch ID back. Other than that, I mean, I do prefer a compact phone. The Pixel 4 is probably one of the best, top-notch performing, best cameras, everything, small phone. That is one of the best. And it's going to be hard to get people. I would think that people would say, well, why would I switch my phone again? No, this works. I can imagine people walking into the Apple store being excited for the new iPhone SE second generation. I don't know, man. I feel like people might just be like, yeah, no, I think I'm not going to change. I can put a case on it. I've already been sent some iPhone SE 2 cases, which are pretty much just iPhone 8 cases, I would assume. And, you know, I was wondering why I got notifications from all these companies saying, hey, we went on and shipped out the iPhone SE second generation. I got this like a week or two ago. And I'm like, wow, okay, so, okay, these look like iPhone 8 cases. So, nonetheless, this is just going to be a tough sale, I think. But I could be way off. And again, I've posed that question several times. Are you excited for the new iPhone? Do you think it's, you know, this phone will be good? Okay, so I'm sure Apple is targeting people because there's a lot of people that still were hoping for a 4-inch display. And so Apple is definitely targeting people who have those small iPhones. Listen, folks, there are still people out there that have an iPhone 4. Literally. They have a 4. It looks, the screen isn't cracked. I've seen a lot with cracked screens, but that's what they have. And this is the strangest thing to me ever, but it just goes to prove my point that what I said in lots of previous videos, people keep their phones until they fall apart. Real consumers do. Real consumers don't keep switching out phones because the company brought out a new one. They don't even watch. They see the commercial and they keep going watching their show that they're watching, or go on with their lives working or whatever they're doing. So, the iPhone SE second generation, I definitely like the two colors, the red and the white. The black is cool too. But I think the white is more to my speed when I pick that phone up. But you know, I don't know, 64 gigs, $399, 450 for 128 gig, and then I think 550 for 256 gig. You know, Apple's, what do you say? I mean, in 3 months or 4 months, or maybe 6 months, October or whenever, they're going to bring another iPhone. Now, they've stopped selling the iPhone 8, so you can't get that anymore unless you get it in the refurbished section of the Apple's website. So, you know, here poses the question I would tell a person: if you just really want that body style, or you want to upgrade from your iPhone SE or your iPhone 4, probably grab the iPhone 8 if you can get it for a lot. You should be able to get it for a lot less than $400. I don't know. If you want to get the most powerful processor from Apple with Wi-Fi 6, you know, I don't know if a lot of people talked about Wi-Fi 6, but Wi-Fi 6 is on the new iPhone. Yeah, that's probably one of the highest selling points for me, Wi-Fi 6. But you know, the Touch ID, the Wi-Fi 6. And another question is, if you were considering buying the iPhone 11, would you want to give that up, that facial recognition, the emojis, the memojis, and all that stuff, and having the face unlock to have your fingerprint reader back? Would you want to do that, you know, and have a more compact, powerful phone? I don't know. I mean, if they were on the table for me and I had to choose iPhone 11 Pro or iPhone SE second generation, first thing I would do is look at the price and say, what's different in the phones? Is it really worth going up to a 5.8-inch screen with Face ID and the newer design? Well, technically newer design, or staying with this tried and true single camera. And that's another thing, the camera, they've updated the camera in a lot of ways. I mean, you get a single lens and you get portrait mode, but you can only do people. I don't know why people would want to portrait mode their dogs, but I guess. But the camera's been updated as well. But you know, you put those two next to each other. They didn't even focus on the iPhone 11 because, you know, I mean, the iPhone 11 has the same internals too. So they're focusing on the iPhone 11 Pro versus the iPhone SE second generation. So if you put those two side by side, you know, obviously spending $800 less is, or you know, whatever the difference is, $700-800, it's going to be a smarter move. Is it really worth having Face ID in a little bit bigger screen just to say you have the iPhone 11 Pro? Oh, and 3 cameras. Is it really worth $700-800? Probably not. So, you know, that's my thoughts on the iPhone SE. I really didn't feel compelled to go upstairs and dig out this iPhone 8 just to hold it and trick you and say, oh, they should. That was what I was going to do. I was actually going to go upstairs and get the iPhone 8 and show, you know, but I don't like to do the prank things. You know, I've done that before, and it's kind of cruel. But nonetheless, if you have an iPhone 8, you have an iPhone SE second generation. You might have a better color too, because some people might like that gold, you know. I don't know. But the product red is, all the colors are available right now. OnePlus, get on your game. Have your inventory ready if you're going to start selling something. So every time, I give Apple that though. Every time that they say they're going to sell something here lately, they've put it all out there. They sell it when they're supposed to. They said they're going to sell it, and then that's what it is. So it's your man Jay. What do you think about the iPhone SE 2 or the iPhone second generation 2020, whatever you want to call it? What do you think? You think it's going to be a hot seller? Or do you think people are going to say, nah?